Welcome back to Power CEOs, the truth behind the business. I am here with Art Koch, supply chain industry expert, who has been helping many businesses to solve their supply chain woes. And we talked a little bit about the big crisis in brain trust, the people who are retiring out, the expertise that they have, and the younger generation having the theoretic knowledge or the analytical knowledge, but not that practical operational skill set. And how do we transfer that? So Art, I'm gonna dive right in. AI has been a huge topic of conversation. AI and automation, technology is changing every industry and it's shaping the future of supply chain. Talk to me a little bit about how businesses in the supply chain industry are looking at AI to improve maybe this brain trust capture, operational efficiency, automations, and bridging these knowledge gaps. Where does that fit in your mind, and what are you seeing?
You know, I see with AI a tremendous opportunity to streamline the back office within supply chain and also take supply chain to a new level that with better real-time data and more analytics about what is happening. So you think about predictive analytics, demand forecasting, demand planning, huge opportunities, visibility and risk management, watching what's happened in the supply chain from a logistics standpoint, and the automation of decision making. All right. And that's the back office, which is not the sexy stuff that people tend to ignore. But once you get it working, people go, oh, holy cow, how'd you make all of that stuff work? Well, it's all the stuff that's non-sexy in the background. So I see within AI a huge opportunity within those three areas.
Yeah, and so let's dive deep a little bit deeper into that. I want to learn a little bit more about your thoughts on how is AI making bringing better data? How is that making faster, more effective decisions? Where is that playing? Is it all the way up through the executive decision making processes? How do you see AI really leveraging and making that faster, more effective, more efficient, and making the right decision first, more quickly with
Well,
than traditional?
yeah, one before we talk, one of the scary things with AI, it can make decisions very quick. And because it can make things very quick, we can also make mistakes very quick.
Mm-hmm.
So it's extremely important to have the data in the background clean to where when it's working, it's giving you uh, the best analytics behind it.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, there's some really organizations are doing some really good job work within moving freight logistically. You know, we have different pinch points. We have the Suez Canal, we have the Panama Canal, we have different ports, we have congestion at different ports. So AI is being used by different organizations associated with how to move their material or their freight around with great success. Another thing that organizations are able to do is use the predictive analytics to watch what's happening with demand for their different products within very micro areas. And again, using the visibility that they see within the logistics to move product to where they're seeing more demand, and then pulling product out of organization or areas where they do not have the demand. So that's really exciting stuff that's happening there. So, there's a lot of opportunity there. The back office, there's huge opportunity there that I don't see being tapped because, again, we're going after the sexy stuff that everybody gets excited about, and we're not working on the back office stuff enough.
Of course, we always want to kind of push that to the back, but that's where the biggest gains in operation efficiency can occur, because if you start automating all those processes, you can see, I mean, we've seen 30-40% impact on the operational efficiency once we attack back office. So now let's talk about where AI falls short, because the reality is everybody's afraid that AI is going to take everyone's job away, but there are places where we need human intelligence to make the decisions. AI cannot make all the decisions for us. So talk to me about as we leverage the tools that AI is now making available to us, where are the areas where the AI struggles are going to be, where we have to really improve our critical decision-making process as a human? Where are those human touch points that we're going to want to really beef up our critical thinking skills with the data that we're being provided?
Um, the human aspect of building a relationship with a supplier or a customer, there is a huge element of bonding that needs to go in place, and you know, X's and O's, or cannot do that. Then the other element, when a crisis hits, when you know what hits the fan, and it's all hands on deck to solve a crisis, AI can't do that. All right, you need to have the interaction associated with it. And lastly, it's not necessarily the crisis, but I feel what's going on geopolitically. All right. How do you look ahead geopolitically and use your knowledge of what's happening within your government and bridging that out further? But so, for absolutely for sure, crisis management is absolutely top of the list. And that relationship that you have to build forward and backwards within the supply chain with your customer, your partnerships of customers and supplier partnerships.
I talk about a lot on, I get interviewed a lot on AI, and we talk about AI on this show a lot. And we talk about .ai is about helping us to get more human where it matters most. In medicine, it's for patient-facing human interaction. And here it's building those relationships, your vendor relationships, your client relationships, all stakeholder relationships, and also internally. So I'm hearing you echo the same sort of thing that we're hearing in other industries. And I'm going to ask you, because we started the show talking about the brain trust, do you believe that an AI-driven sort of knowledge reservoir that young professionals could tap into is feasible in the supply chain industry? And what would it take to build that? What would it look like?
Um, it is possible. However, the individuals that are coming into supply chain today have to learn the fundamentals. They have to learn the foundation, the nuts and bolts, how everything works. That way, you're not looking at a black box when you know what blows up. You have to be able to work your way backwards and do a post-mortem and understand what happened to where you can fix it. So I see, you go into the back office where you're managing lead time, you're managing demand, supply variability, things of that, which your safety stock needs to be, where you place inventory. Once you can get that fixed and get it real time and manage it, and Katie bar the door, it's phenomenal. But it can't be done unless you have inventory accuracy, and that is fundamental to the whole system, and that is human interaction.
Mm-hmm.
You can't take that away.
Absolutely. So I know that you're a wealth of knowledge. You've already dropped so much amazing information for us on the show. How can
You're too
people reach
kind. You're
out to
too
you
kind.
or learn more?
Pardon?
How can people reach out to you or learn more about this?
Go to my website, it's arthurkochmgt.com, or look me up on LinkedIn, Art Koch, again, KOCH on LinkedIn, and drop me a note and I'll be happy to answer any questions you have. And
It's
also,
been
I have a book out, The Supply Chain Revolution, that digs into all of the stuff that we talked about to get to you to where you can implement a successful AI strategy.
If you're watching this, I highly recommend pick up Art's book. He is a wealth of knowledge. He's brought so much today to us. We do have to take a brief break, but is there anything else, Art, that you would like to share with our audience before we do?
Um, the young people entering the workforce today are the leaders tomorrow. So invest in them, invest in mentorship programs, develop them. Even though you feel they have different values than you do, by the time that they are your age, they'll have the same values as you. You were the same brass, tough, flying crazy person as they were when you left college. So remember that.
Thank you so much for your expertise, Art. I really appreciate you.
Thank you very much for having me. It's been great.
And if you're watching at home, make sure you pick up his book. It is absolutely, it's enlightening, and he goes over in depth some of the things that we talked about today. We do have to take a brief break, but we'll be right back after these messages.